What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have the highly anticipated S25 Ultra. Now before we get into this video, I do want to say that most of you guys watching the videos are not subscribed, so if you can do me a big favor and go ahead and click the subscribe button, that's going to really help out the channel. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the S25 Ultra. Now a quick disclaimer before we get into the S25 Ultra, I do want to say that you'll notice if I pull this to the side, the pull tabs are already out. That's due to the simple fact that I already did an unboxing. I only looked at the color quick because I did an unboxing of all the S25 Ultra colors. So if you guys want to check out that video, just get a pointer or kind of like a referral. It'll be somewhere in the corner. I don't know which corner it is, but you can check that video out at any other time. Now before we get into this setup, I do want to point something out. Like, this phone came out on last Friday, so it's been like 4 or 5 days now, and I have seen close to no videos on like most socials. Most of the tech content creators that I follow usually would post like a lot of content when a new phone comes out, specifically a Samsung or an iPhone. But this time around, it just feels like no one posted any kind of content in regards to the S25 Ultra or this S25, let alone the S25 lineup. So it just feels a little bit weird. I'm not too sure why that's the case. But anyway, with that being said, here's a video on the S25 Ultra for anybody who's interested. Let's get into it. This is the icy blue colorway. Out of all 4 of them, I think this is the best looking one in my opinion. Like, obviously the pull tabs are out, so I've already seen it, but I think this is the best one in my opinion. So here we go, icy blue. It really does look nice. I mean, it has a nice look to it, and it really reminds me of the iPhone 13 Pro, which was an iPhone that I had and I very much loved. Now with that said, here's a quick look at the icy blue color. It's very nice. I think it's super clean and simple. I really do love the overall like frosty cold finish to it. So it has these nice silver edges, and it has this nice frosty blue on it, which is really cool. Some people have been a little bit on the fence about the new design. I personally think it's nice, it's great, it's simple, it's very linear, it's very straightforward. I like the nice like flat edges, kind of like flat sides and everything. It's very like reminiscent in some ways of the other iterations of the S lineup, like S23, S24, but this one just looks and feels like the S25. I mean, I don't know why people are like kind of hating on it. Now as I peel the screen off here, maybe in true fashion there aren't that many new things that are brought up upon this phone, but let's just be honest for a second here, guys. This feels like its own phone. I mean, I don't really see why people are saying this is like, it looks exactly like the S24, because it doesn't really look like the S24. I mean, the camera layout is different, the overall body is different. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Inside of the box, you'll also find this, which has your your classic USB-C charger, which is still made out of like rubber plastic, which isn't ideal out of a braided cable. It would have been so much better, so much nicer. And you have your SIM card ejector here, which we will be using in a minute. I'm going to be putting my SIM into this S25 Ultra, and we're going to be trying to use this phone for the better part of the next few days and just try to get my hands on it. So if you're going to be picking up the new S25 Ultra, you'll realize quickly that this is a premium phone with a premium price, so you don't want to break it, you want to take care of it. And with that said, your best way to do so is with today's sponsors. So right in front of me, I have some goodies from the team over at Banks. Now they really weren't shy and they hooked me up. They gave me a few selection of their newer cases for the S25 Ultra, which I have here. They're very nice, very premium. They actually look really good, and just the overall presentation, I mean, look at this. This is so premium. It's like, it feels like you're opening like a top grade product, which you are in fact. We also have a screen protector here that I will be applying to the S25 Ultra, and I think they've designed it in a way where it's so easy to set up. Alongside the S25 Ultra, there are a series of accessories from Banks that are amazing, including the screen protector. Now the setup for this thing is absolutely super easy. Now it's actually harder to misinstall it than to install it properly, and it's really amazing. It fills the whole screen from edge to edge. But with the S25 Ultra, you're probably going to need a new case, and the series of new cases that are available for this phone are really nice. Now the overall design is super minimal and simplistic. It adds a pop of color, but not too much, so it's great for any kind of audience, and they fit the phone quite literally like a glove. It fits like amazing in combination with the screen protector. It's such a super clean, minimal aesthetic. Now there's also this magnetic ring holder for the back of the phone, which is actually multifunctional. It also serves as a ring holder for the phone, and it's just all super compact and included into this really small package. In addition to all of that, it's a great combination of utilities because you can use it as a kickstand and you can consume media. So for example, if you want to watch a YouTube video, it is great for doing that. You can just put it on the table, whether you want to put it vertically or horizontally. properly, and you can adjust the angle at which you want to watch the content. Now, if you'll pay attention, all of the cases have raised edges, which are really good because they protect the lenses from any scratches or any damages, and you'll find extra protection around the case as well, so you can protect the edges of the phone and have a safety net all the time. You can really get creative and choose the kind of case or the kind of style that you want. There's a full carbon fiber case here. It's really simple and clean. Not only does it protect the phone, it also provides an element of protection. Now, the screen protector is really no joke. It's super thin, but it's super strong. I've tried to really smash this thing to bits. I was using a screwdriver and it is impeccable. It's super clean. There's not a single scratch on it. So if you're interested in the S25 Ultra, there's so much gear that Banks is offering. I want to give them a huge thank you for making this video possible. Let's get back to the video. I've just installed my screen protector. If you guys can take a closer look at this, you cannot tell that there's a screen protector on this. It is so freaking good. It is from edge to edge. The application on this is absolutely fantastic. There are no bubbles, no nothing. It's perfectly in line with the screen. Now here we go. We have the S25 Ultra. I think I'm going to be starting the setup process. So what I'm going to be doing. Actually, I was freaking stuttering on my words. So I have my iPhone here, my iPhone 13 Pro Max. I've been using this for the better part of a long time now. What I'm going to be doing is we're going to be taking out the SIM card from my 13 Pro Max, and we're going to be putting it into this new Samsung just so we can test it properly. And also, I don't know if you guys know, but you can't set up a Samsung device without actually inserting a SD card. I mean, for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, I really don't think I've set up other Samsung devices in the past, and I haven't been able to set them up without an SD card. So let me know if you guys know a way to set up a Samsung phone without an SD card. I think it's like potentially virtually impossible to do so, but luckily enough, we're going to be switching to this, putting my SD card into this Samsung here. There we go. The SD card has been inserted. SD card detected. Restart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to set this new phone up or download a few apps, get into a bunch of things, and then we're going to touch base, and I'm going to give you guys kind of like my first impressions on the S25 Ultra. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's officially been a few hours. I would say 48 hours, but I think we're kind of moving in closer to 72 hours with the S25 Ultra. I kind of wanted to use it a little bit, and that's what I've been doing for the last 3 days. I've just been using it kind of like every day, you know, scrolling on social media, doing the usual stuff. So kind of just getting used to the phone itself. I didn't really want to sit down and talk about the phone after I've literally just unboxed it and I didn't even get the chance to use it, so I thought it was a little unfair to do that. So here we are a few days later with the S25 Ultra, and I gotta say, first of all, before we get into this video, let's just address the elephant in the room. And I think this time around, I think for myself, I can safely say that my hype around the S25 Ultra has been kind of lower than usual. I was really excited last year for the S24 Ultra, but this time around, I just think that the overall lack of innovation, overall kind of like repolishing of the last model with some slight tweaks, some slight adjustments, and some, you know, ever so slightly new features, additional of like new software capabilities and all that stuff. It's cool to a certain extent, right? It checks out some of the boxes, but let's just be honest here. I mean, if you're a tech fan and you're looking forward to these new releases every year, or you're just interested in the market and just seeing what's happening with all of these smartphones, you kind of, you know, the last few months with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and now the S25 Ultra, it's kind of like, okay, well, where are we going? What's the direction of these new phones? In hindsight, I think both of these phones, for example, let's just take the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the S25 Ultra, I really do believe they are just S versions of their previous models, right? So the 16 Pro being an S version of the 15 Pro, and the S25 Ultra being an S version of the S24 Ultra. Obviously, with all that being said, that is just my opinion. You guys can be in disagreement, you guys can agree, you guys can say whatever you would like to think. Honestly, just leave it in the comment section. I'd be curious to know what you guys think. But, you know, if we overlook that and we just take the S25 Ultra for what it's worth, I think it is a solid phone overall. Obviously, it's not going to be a bad phone. It's Samsung's latest and brightest. You're not going to be disappointed in any shape or form. I mean, the performance is there. You know, the release of One UI 7 is also amongst us. And I've seen across the internet, it's been a little bit of a running gag, but like older models of the S lineup have kind of been struggling with the One UI 7. Obviously, that is not the case with the S25 Ultra. It's the latest. It's optimized for the new One UI 7, so you're not going to be running into any of those issues. One UI 7 has been running like really smoothly. I've had really no issues. But with all that said, my initial experience with the S25 Ultra, I like this phone. I really do think it's really nice, and I'm going to get into something that I think a lot of people might think it's superficial, but the form factor of the phone, like, I just really like this new reshape of the phone. It's, you know, kind of similar to what we've had in the past, so the S24 Ultra and the S23 Ultra, but there is a slight difference in design language, and I really do like this nice minimal, like flat sharp edges. It not only looks great, but it feels great in the hand. I really do feel that in contrast to like the S24, which had kind of like a almost perfect formula. I do believe this one kind of hits the nail on the head. It's the sweet spot for me. Now I'm kind of bringing the S25 Plus out here because this specific lineup of phones has been my favorite for the last like 2-3 years. I love the S23 Plus. It was an amazing phone. Then the S24 Plus, obviously very similar for the most part, didn't really change a lot of things visually. And now S25 Plus, again, if you know, if you want to complain about the shape and the form factor, I think you can throw shade at this one because the normal S lineup has not changed visually in any shape or form. It is remotely the same. To me, this is a winning formula. It has the perfect form factor, perfect everything. Back to the S25 Ultra, I think, you know, it's really a question of like, get your hands on the phone and get a feel for it for yourself. It really has new things. I mean, in terms of capabilities, performance wise, it's really good. Like there's just been moments where I found myself kind of like scrolling on the internet or looking for some information, and I was just like, I was on TikTok, I wanted to find something, I was looking for something, and I was scrolling, and boy, did it load the content so freaking fast. Like, it actually surprised me how fast it was loading the content. It's kind of crazy to me that I can just like scroll super quickly and it just loads like dozens and dozens of videos at like any given moment. It is really impressive. So in terms of performance, it really hasn't let me down in any shape or form. But then again, it's only been a few days. It's brand new. It's out of the box. I haven't used it that much. There will be an extensive review on the S25 Ultra on the channel, as long as a, you know, dedicated day in the life video that I typically do that you guys really love. So to kind of add to my first impressions, let's also talk a little bit about the camera setup. I mean, overall, the camera setup has not seen some tremendous upgrades. It still performs really well for the most part. I mean, the Samsung photography has been pretty good for the most part on like the last few models. Samsung uses a lot of software and a lot of image processing after you've taken the picture. So a lot of times, you know, when you open the camera, it is a little bit disappointing. You're not going to get the exact result that you want. But once you snap the picture and it loads and it fully processes all the information, it's actually like night and day difference when you open your actual picture in the camera roll, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, for the most part, you're gonna get some solid pictures, good video quality. I mean, at the time of recording right now, there is a huge freaking storm outside. There's so much snow, but I tried to capture some footage for you guys nevertheless. It's a solid camera. I mean, it's a flagship phone. It has all the best pieces and components that you can find on the market. You can't really complain. I mean, you're getting such a premium phone for such a premium price. But with that said, I'm gonna keep this video relatively short. It's only been a few of my impressions. I don't want to get too much into it without having used it extensively. I want to give this phone a chance and get into all the new like AI features, software features, and all of the improvements and everything that makes the S25 Ultra new and more advanced than the last versions. Now, with that said, before I end the video, I really do want to know, what do you guys think of the S25 Ultra? Do you think this is a cop or a drop? Are you a fan of this phone? Are you going to be upgrading? Let me know all of these things in the comment section down below. I'd be curious to know what you guys think about that. Stick around, stay tuned, make sure you subscribe. There's going to be a lot more videos. I know this one was relatively short and it's only been a few opinions, but I'll be having an extensive review, an extensive look at this phone on the channel. With that said, I'll catch you very shortly on another episode. And with that, I wish you the best of luck in everything you do, and I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.